Good morning. Uh, uh, this is Dr. Najeeb Ahmad Rumi. Good morning. It's a lovely morning in London. It's a sunny and very pleasant and lovely day. Today is 15th of September 2023, and I'm Dr. Najeeb Ahmad Rumi from my clinic, Health and Wellbeing Clinic, London. Today, as you have gone through the title of this uh, talk is what is happiness and what is pleasures. Today we will discuss happiness versus pleasure. So this is very important topic, and I will explain to all of my viewers about uh, happiness and pleasures. Hope all of you are well and must be enjoying your day or whatsoever the time is at your end. Try to keep yourself busy and happy because we have various emotions like sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are less happy. But I tell you one thing, the people who are well off in terms of their health and happiness, in terms of their, health, because you may have gone through the health is wealth, it's a great notions. So, so it's happiness is for well off people. Well off means they are well in terms of their health, not in terms of their wealth. So, wellness is definitely if you are contented, if you are satisfied with whatsoever the resources are, although this is very important part of our dimension of health, your economical health is very important. But I tell you one thing, if you are contented, because we are all here for temporary phase of time, so one must get realized that lifespan is very short, and we need to enjoy each and every moment. What is enjoyment? Enjoyment is you have to feel yourself. Then when you are touching yourself, you just do some hand massage of yourself, face massage, and butt massage. Help yourself. Treat yourself like you are treating your loved one, your child, your children. So in this way, you can change your narrative. So today's topic is all about what is happiness and what is pleasure. So it's we will make comparison what is happiness and what is pleasure. So I tell you one thing: happiness is, as you all know, because one of my services user he told me that I asked them, "What makes you happy?" So most of my services user, most of my circle, even friends are my patients. The quick response from them, I heard that money. So I told them, yes, it is one of the tiny contributory factor. When you have money, definitely you become more happy. But the research and studies shows that that feeling about having, if you win the lottery of millions of pounds or whatsoever the currency of your country is, but it is temporary. You feel pleasures, there would be some mm, shoots of bombardment of dopamine, which is rewarding hormone. Then again, you will go down and down, down. Then it's pleasure. You feel pleasure, but it's not happiness. Happiness is permanent and long lasting. So when you are contented with yourself, what you are doing, what you are having in your mind inbox. Because I use the word because now it is familiar for everyone, mind inbox. Because our mind is like a garden and our thoughts are like seeds. We can grow flowers or we can grow weeds. It's up to us. So if you wanted to grow these seeds of happiness, then believe in yourself, believe in your strength, believe in your power. Power is not that you are powerful in terms of your uh, having great status in your society, or you are rich, you're filthy rich. But the strength is how much contented and positive you are, in terms of how much helping hand you are, how much creative you are, how much positive contributor you are in terms of happiness. So in this way, you can grow, your strength, and you can grow the seeds of happiness here. Although it's sometimes very disturbing, sometimes it's upset, but you have to prioritize. Since the since your birth, when we took one first cry, when we came out of the womb of our mothers, so since that we are crying, we are in pain, because pain and pleasures are simultaneously like a seesaw. Both emotions are there, but we always trying to avoid pain. Although pain is good, when you feel pain, it means it's alarming situation. But you have to, when you are resilient, when you are powered with positive seeds, then you can be a different person in terms of your wellness. So today we are step by step. I will let you know about what is happiness and what is pleasures. So it's based on my neuro-narrative therapy by Dr. Najeeb Ahmad Rumi. So then you can make a comparison, because it's all of my talks are based on knowledge, based on information, and based on healthy lifestyle changes. These are all your choices. My main motive is to educate the masses, to lead a healthy lifestyle. It's not advice, it's not something you think that it's some other motives about these talks. Is only to educate, to empower my global masses on this globe. So, as I have derived as my domain is in order to understand, because when we were students we used to do because we always it's medical education is very, then we just tried to make some formula by the name of like different situations. We just use the formula by giving Steve or Johnson's. So, similarly, I have these habits in order to recall myself, remind myself to remember. So it's sometimes easy. So abbreviations, I use the abbreviation in order to have some stream line of the things. So to recall and remind myself. So happiness stand for, as I have derived according to my knowledge and you know specialty, H A P-P-I-N-E-S-S. Is it correct spelling of happiness? You will agree with me. Of course, it is H-A-P-P-I-N-E-S-S, happiness. So today's topic is happiness versus pleasure. So happiness, H stand for holistic, because it's holistic approach about your happiness holistically as a whole. Holistic approach is H, uh, all of your dimensions of health, because health is uh, the complete well-being of your all of your dimensions include your happiness. If your all of the dimensions of your health are intact, and all of there are four dimensions of health: your physical dimension of health, your mental mind health dimension, social health dimension, and your spiritual health dimensions. It means you are in a healthy state of being. But if you are healthy and if you're not happy, health and happiness, both aspects are very important. You are healthy, satisfied, up to the level of satisfactions are the levels of initial you're satisfied, but when the gratification, you are totally satisfied, contented, and happy. So that is gratitude attitude. Then your attitude would be more positive, balanced, composed. You can name it. So H, holistic. A stand for alignment. Holistic as a whole, you are aligned with your. A stand for alignment. You're aligned. You're connected. P stand for your purpose. In this happiness, the purpose of course purpose is to be happy whatsoever the circumstances or situation is. If situation is worst and god forbidden, and you are being troubled and you have some challenges, but you have to accept those challenges, because all of my talks are full of meaningful, purposeful. I encourage my services users, my patients, my viewers to just accept yourself with your strengths and weaknesses. When you start accepting yourself, respecting yourself, then you would be in a better positions to reflect. What is reflection? What is inside of you? Then you reflect into others. And a reflection is always with your uh, thoughts, with your minds, with your neurons, chemical reactions. So happiness, P, your purpose. Purpose is to be happy, to get happy, and again P is pragmatically. Your purpose is how to be happy, and P is pragmatically, practically, positively. You can name it. So pragmatic, and the purpose of is practical. Your wise words. If I'm saying wise words and I'm not following those wise words, if I'm saying wise words and my action is other way around, then this is falsehood. And one of the great philosophers, Rumi, he said, I'm the enemy of false images. So try to be natural you are, and try to be what you are through your action. So again, H, holistic alignment, holistic alignment of all of your dimensions, alignment, your physical dimension, you are physically active, happy. Mental dimensions of health, you don't have any being happy. And then this is your purpose. And pragmatically, how? This is neurons, and then narrative. You have to change your narrative. So that's why if your priority is to be happy, then of course nobody can enforce you. Nobody can. Only they can your genuine friends, families, parents, They can help you, they can guide you, they can ask you try to be happy, but nobody will enforce to you, even not your doctor, not your therapist, not your parents or siblings or your family friends. So holistic alignment, connectivity, connection with the purpose to be happy, and then again pragmatically, practically, is it practical or not? Then I intelligently, purpose, practically, positively, I stand for intelligently, and stand for now, because life is not about, because past is not a place to live. Past has been lost, but we have to live at this present moment intelligently. If you are living, and your priority is to be happy, happiness, not for the sake of player. After this I will explain what is player. So intelligently now, at this present moment now, and because it's never ever too late to start living healthy, happily. Yes, you again, I told you priority. If your priority is to be as such you are, you don't want to change. Why you want to change? Because there are certain reasoning I will explain to you. And then HAPPINEN, now. E stand for empathically, empathics, empathy, with empathy. What is empathy and sympathy? Empathy is you need to put yourself into the situation of others. You have to get realized that if you have gone through some painful situations, or God forbid, and you have long term or short term disease and pain, then you can realize. And when you realize that it is a situation, then you have to realize the pain of other. This is empathy. You have to put yourself into the situation, or into the foot of others. So this is what we call, this is called empathy. HAPPINESS stand for self compassion. Again, S stand for self love and self respect. So this is all the abbreviations of happiness. And now coming to the player. What is players? Because as I wanted to say something about the great philosopher. What they said: if you are contented with the will of nature or God, then if you are not after lesser more, and you are not greedy, and you are not, feeling low when you don't have money. But you can try cortisol, and you're trying, the positive hormones are there, and then it encourages you to uh, you know do something. So, but I tell you one thing: happy people are always creative, generous, and they are a great contributor. All the time they find some positive scenario out of the negative scenario. If the situation is worst off, and the, because two mindsets are here in our brain: solution oriented mindset and problem oriented mindset. Solution oriented mindset means that if you someone is troubled, if someone has problems, then they can find the solution of that problem. But problems oriented mind people are those groups of people who always they are not they are only after pleasure, not after happiness. So their mind is always, they find their mind how to, because when they have problems, they they create another problem in order to get it worst instead of getting better results. So solution oriented mindset is You need to find out the solution of that problems. And problem oriented minds, they always look into the depth of the problems, and then they won't be able to find out the solutions of that problem, because every problems you can find out the solution of that problem. So happy people with happiness, with contentment, they are always solution oriented. When they have when they come across with the problems, then they know their mind is, they use their active mind here, and they always accept uh, the challenges. As I have mentioned, action. A stand for accept, C stand for challenges, T stand for think, I again stand for intelligently. O, they are well organized happy people. O stand for organized. N stand for again now, right now, because this is the present moment. We have to live at this present moment. And existence, our existence is very important, because nowadays smartphone and lots of devices are there, and we know how to live healthy. But all of these things are subjective based, subjectively. But objective is when you, because wisdom, two parts, subjective. Objective is when you act, when you show. Theory and therapy. Theory is like neuro-narrative theory, unless or until you have to apply that theory. Like doctors, we just study medicines, then after 5 years we have to prove that what we studied. And now in practically, when we go for house job or internship and to treat people, so then that is our subjective part, 5 years study. Then we just practice in order to make people ease and let them come out of that circle of disease, ease and disease. So happy people, they are journalists, they are creative, and they have child inside of them, because all of us, we have gone through the childhood. Although the bitter and better experiences are there, but if your priority is being happy, then contented and happy. So the happy people, they always keep their child alive inside of them. How? Because they are happy. They know to do some child like activities, not childish activities. Activities are, you're quite natural. When you start laughing, you just laugh naturally, what you are inside of you. Good sense of, they have good sense of humor, happy people. So happiness gives you more priorities and avenue to move forward. But unfortunately, unfortunate and player oriented or dopaminergic people, because player is always linked to the hormones dopamine. So when you are hungry, of course, it's a natural strategy, and your natural reward system is here. You start hungry, then uh, because it's for players. So it's a reward system, like sexual intimacy is it's a release of chemical which is dopamine. So that is player. So if your mind is happy, and your priority is to be happy, and uh, happiness is long term. So I would like to share what is unhappy people. They are really unlucky. I'm sorry to say. It's if you have some problem with your mental health, or with something, that's something else. I'm not judgmental about anything, but generally I'm speaking about the unhappy and dysfunctional person is one who has lost the capacity to give and receive love and respect. Because sometimes the player oriented people and the people who are, because they are not contented, they are not satisfied with their life. They need more and more and more because brain here. They are after pleasure. That's why they are not satisfied with the natural stimuli, the natural stimulus. What is natural stimulus? Healthy eating, healthy living, shelter, basic human rights are natural responses, stimulus. And that is directly linked to our neurons circuits because it's electric circuits of neurons inside of our brain. So they are not happy, and they are player oriented persons. So they don't want to be happy because they are only happy due to having something. When they are having more money, their profit, they are looking for pleasure, not happy. So because we have two circuits in our brain, because I have mentioned that faulty circuit of brain of neuron, and which is unhealthy. You are depressed, you are stressed, you are after one player another players, then your dopamine level is going down. Then you need to find out various ways, unfair means or corruptions, because you are not satisfied with the wealth you have. And then you start taking drugs because natural stimulus for the process of sleep is disturbed. And for that purpose you need to take more. Your pace become more and more threshold, and then for that satisfaction you start taking drugs, or you start doing some abnormal or subnormal things. So normal phenomena is healthy brain circuits, because it's like electricity is moving. It's like a water storm, and it finds its passage to move. So it is in your control. When your mind is in your control, that is called controlled pilot. And another pilot in our brain is automatic pilot. We go to sleep, then early in the morning we get up, and then that is automatic pilot. It's directly linked to our sympathetic nervous system. It's our brain and sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. But when we are happy, then we are going to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is calmness, meditations, and there is bombardment of positive chemical stimulations due to contentment, due to happiness. Because brain don't know. Brain, what we are giving them, it's like a seeds. If you are providing, if your priority, because both circuits, 40 circuits of brain is there, and 40 circuits of brain is going to stimulate and going to generate and formation of negative chain reactions. And if your priority is only pleasure, short term, then believe in me, like you will not be satisfied, and you will never ever be happy, which is basic human rights, and which is the life-saving strategy for yourself. And then you can, in this way you can change. But the positive and healthy brain circuit is always directly linked to dose of happiness. I always share my abbreviations. What is that dose of happiness? Because positive chemicals, when you are happy, contented, and energetic, your look will be changed. You will start taking care of yourself in a very happy mood. And according to universal law of attraction, when you are happy, means you are going to attract more happiness. You are going to attract more happy people. You are going to attract more good incidences. So dose of happiness, because if your brain is faulty due to any or many reasons, not due to some mental health problems, of course, because we are humans, and If we have some mental health issues, then of course we need to address those issues and we need to find out the solution of the problems. But when we are uh, having brain circuit faulty due to our greed, due to our need, greedy need, greed, extremism, hatred, eating more, selfishness, self-centered approach. These people's, you can name it, all of these negative behavior and characteristics are human nature. The good characteristics are also human nature. But if you want to be a good human, you need to be in a good positions, not to be aggressive, not to be rude. So your brain faulty circuit is here, and those people, they are ignorant, they are less caring about others, they are self-centered, they are proud of whatsoever they are, and they are greed of having more and more wealth and properties, but they don't get realized that it's short because they are player oriented things. They are after short terms of players, and because they are far away from happiness. So dose of happiness, because every hormones and chemicals are related to, because it's operating here, because it's like a circuit of electricity, positive circuits and negative circuits. So positive circuits is activated, then negative circuits of brain automatically uh, uh, closed. So positive circuit is when activated and you are happy, contented, and satisfied with your life, and all the time you are cherishing with smiling face, and you need to find out the solution. So dose of happiness is D for dopamine, O stand for oxytocin, S stand for serotonin, is happy hormone and is mood stabilizer, and E stand for endorphin. It's endogenous morphine. When we are in pain, then it's released. So cortisol, again, it's when you are in trouble and when you have problems, when you have negative thoughts, and when your level of dopamine goes down, and you are unhappy. So cortisol is stimulated, and there is chain of reaction. Cortisol, it's damage all of the tissues along with, it's move along across the body, chemicals, and it damages all of our tissues, and it could increase the blood pressure, heart rate, diabetes, cholesterol, you can name it. Because cortisol is bad feeling, disappointment, trigger cortisol. When you are bad feeling, you are not satisfied, you are a player, you are drug dependent, alcohol dependent, smoking dependent, because all of these bad habits which you start, according to research and studies, that all of these habits, negative habits, are the significant uh, symptoms of depression. You have severe kind of depression, and in that way you need to uh, have these kinds of escape in your life. You start smoking, and you believe, because your chemicals are giving you more encouragement, that okay, yeah, justification, you start having inappropriate level of alcohol, drug use, abuse, and bad behavior, sexual addictions, well, you can name it. So cortisol, when you are disappointed and you feel low, it trigger cortisol, which leave you feeling threatened all the time. It, it's not in your. That's why we have fear and phobias all the time. According to Socrates, the great philosopher, what he said, people are not disturbed by the things, but by the view they take of them. So their point of view is, yeah, they are threatened, and they are going to stimulate the chemicals, cortisol, and you don't even consciously know about the neurons. And then Neuron connect when cortisol flows, which wires you to turn on the alarm when you see things related to the past. Your past bitter experiences come across, God forbidden, if you had some bad experiences with something, then as you have viewed some tools and things there which disturbed you in the past, then you start feeling again the cortisol is released, and then you are fearful about those things because that is in your unconscious mind. So that is why it's directly linked to your cortisol. And avoiding pain, because circuits is although we are human nature, and our brain circuit always try to avoid pain, and we are after players. So pain and players is balance, but happiness is the superior form of your emotions. You can transform and you can change this narrative through my neuro-narrative theory and therapies, because electric wiring is inside of here. Old pattern of faulty circuit tend to repeat unless you build a new healthy and realistic circuit, because it's a faulty brain is there, and because over and over again you will start the same things, your habits of, because uh, your faulty circuit of electricity, and if it is in your house or flat or room, then you, all the time you are scared that when you switched on switched off light, you don't know what would be, and there would be some major incident, and it could blast because there is faulty circuit. So, and you don't have any because it's a problem in your main electricity switch. This is main switch. So electricity's fault is in the main switch of your electricity of at home. So it's more worrying and disturbing. All the time you are worried. So similarly, the brain circuit, electric circuit, if it is faulty and you are under the influence and you are worried with anxiety, depression, stress, then all the time your cortisol is going to stimulate, and it is going to increase your heart rate, increase your mental health issues, and it could even leads to it's carcinogenic, cancer, you can name it. Then you're disturbed, your sleep is disturbed, your lifestyle is disturbed, your relationship with others are being disturbed. So old pattern of faulty circuits, because it's a product. You have to retrain, not to retrain your brain circuits. How? It will take time. It's not uh, 1 day, 2 day, at least 45 days. You have to change the narrative, write, rewrite, rephrase. Then in this way you can be a changed person. Otherwise, you would be a changed person, chained of brain circuits, faulty. That because why we are reluctant and why we avoid to change, to bring a positive change inside of us, because there are three reasoning. Blazing, as if I give example, blazing a new trail through a jungle of neurons here is much harder as compared to blazing trail on a paved road. So it's this is the first reasoning. And second reasoning, you feel unsafe when you leave your old highway, old circuits, because it's a human nature. You don't want to change. You are disturbed, and you said, "Okay, I'm satisfied. What so I am," and you believe that, oh, it's my nature, it's my family traits, and it's so I don't want to bring a change. So choice is yours. Nobody can enforce you. Only they can suggest to you. They have different options in front of you. Whatsoever your will is to keep it. If you want to keep your old circuit on, then good luck to you. Nobody can stop you if you want to bring a change here. Because the only person, I tell you one thing, the only person who can heal or harm you is yourself, no one else. No one else come to help you out. So number three is you feel unsafe when you leave your old highway, old faulty brain circuit here, which is directed connect to your vicious and destructive brain circuit, because they are, because when you are under the influence of your faulty brain circuit, of course that is going to trigger and stimulate the negative chemicals all the time, because you don't have access, because your positive circuit is closed, although both circuits of brain, positive and negative, helpful and unhelpful circuits are there. This is your priority, because might be due to childhood experiences, might be due to many or any reasons. Your faulty circuits is in operating, and that is linked to negative chemicals all the time, cortisol, and you have been deprived of going to activate your positive circuit of your brain, which is directly linked to positive chemicals like dose of happiness. Then you can be happy, because you are after your players. That's why directly linked to closed circuits of faulty uh, brain. And a third reasoning, the brain loses its highway paving substance, which is myelin here in our brain. This is the substance myelin after puberty, it's lost. So that's why these are the three reasons we are unable to change ourselves. Because the only person that can heal or harm you is yourself. Because one of the great philosophers, Rumi, he said yesterday was clever. So I wanted to change the world. He said, today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. You can change yourself. Your priority is adherent and attached to players. Good luck. If your priority is happy, be happy and try to keep other happy. This is the one of the most cynical, and it's a saint, like a saint. Saints always, they are giver. They give things to people. Even if they don't have anything, they pass on smile. They keep it on, pass it on. So always put on happy face, which is cherish act. So the brain loses, and because I used the technique, how now the question arises, how we can change the brain circuit for that purpose, because when your electricity of your house is uh, wiring, and the main switch of your uh, electric circuit of your house electricity is disturbed, obviously what would be the option for you? The option is you have to contact your insurance, or you have to contact the electrical engineers come and have a look, because this is serious issue. Similarly, when you have brain circuit faulty in your brain in switch, then of course you need to find out some doctor therapist, like my domain and specialty is mind health practitioner. You have to find out. Then you can first the doctor who is genuine and qualified in this, in that domain, then they can guide you. Even your parents, if they are nice, and if they are, of course, every parents are nice, but due to certain reasons, if they have some problems, then your friends or your family, they can guide and help you. But the best thing is you need to get consultation or advice from your registered qualified doctor, because as I have mentioned in my last lectures and thoughts, that there are two types of doctors: curative doctors who give you medicines, drugs, they prescribe drugs, and preventive doctors, like my domain is, who will help you how to prevent, how to promote your health and wealth, how to prevent disease through healthy lifestyle changes. So you have to contact, and you obviously, when you have problem, you need to go to your doctor to get some advice, get some help. If you wanted to live with your faulty brain circuit, of course, then nobody can change. You are after, then you are after player day in and day out. At the end of the day, life will be vanished, and that's the end of the uh, end of the game. So then, my technique, how, because now the question arises, what, how to do, what to do. It's never ever too late, because your life is everything, your health is everything, and on top of it, your happiness is everything. And happiness does matter a lot. So I would like to I would like to give you some tools and tips, which I used in techniques with my patients, with my services user here in London. MBBS technique, because again, you will be surprised what is that MBBS. MBBS is basically it's our degree. MBBS, other way around, it's Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. But my MBBS technique is different. It's based on Neuro-Narrative Therapy. M stand for mind, again mind circuit. If this is faulty, then your behavior, of course, when your, like, electricity is faulty and light is tripping, and your refrigerator, your air conditions, if it could leads to seize, or they will come out of functions due to faulty circuit. Similarly, your mind, M, B, your behavior, if you are under the influence, under the control of your faulty circuits, so then what would be the consequences? You would be uh, with serious consequences. You would have lots of, health issues, mental health issues, aggressions, greed, because you are after pleasure, not you are after happiness. Happiness is satisfaction. So you have to use MBBS technique, which is mind, behavior. You will change when you will change the whole system of brain circuits from faulty to healthy. And then body shaping, again, your health, and we are what we eat. If we eat healthy, we are healthy. It reflects what we eat. And because food for body and food for thoughts are most important. Food for thoughts is what we are, what we think. If we think positively, healthy, and we are healthy, we will reflect. We are what we think, the way we think, helpful way, under the circuit of under the supervision of that circuits, and healthy circuit. Then we are healthy, we feel, act, our action is everything. If we think in a negative way under this circuit and influence of negative, unhealthy and destructive brain circuits, so of course the consequences would be accordingly. So MBBS technique is how to keep yourself, because you have to change the narrative. What's coming into your mind, as I have mentioned, it will take at least 45 uh, days. Repeatedly you have to change the narrative of your brain if you intend to change that layer to happiness. Then it's linked to your pattern of thoughts. Repeat a new thoughts. What is that new thoughts? Because you wanted to change your behavior, your thoughts. We are what we think. The way we think, feel, and act, our action is everything. So, new thoughts and behavior at least 45 days without any break. So, it is yet not a super highway, because you are putting your brain circuits into a super highway. Then there will be flow of, and you will not go with the flow, but the flow of positivity, flow of happiness will be inside of you, and you will be a change, change person. And then at least it is yet not a super highway, but it frees you from an old pattern of thoughts. So it's helpful when you change pattern of thoughts. You have to rewrite it on the paper, That's our narrative therapy. You want to change at least 45 days consecutively. You have to write it down that you want to, what is coming into your mind, write it down, and your priority, because that is aggressions, ignorance, selfishness, and sleeplessness. You have to write it down on a paper, the previous thoughts, and the heading under the circuits of faulty brain circuits. And now your priority is fresh, refrain, retrain your mind, retraining, refresher, like refresher course. Retrain your mind, not to refrain. Retrain mind 45 days continuously. Write it down on a paper, piece of paper, in order to get peace of mind. That is neuro-narrative therapy. Peace of mind. If you wanted your intent to get peace of mind, then you have to change. Write it down on the piece of paper. Then your feel good hormones release, and then your circuit will be refreshed, and you can change within further. It helps to know what turns on each happy chemicals in state of nature. Then you can choose the thought and beliefs to stimulate. Then you would be in a better position. You will start feeling your look and your appetite, your sleep. Then you need to go to walk in a park, or at least start living healthy. Pattern of change you will be, because under the influence of, you have to write it down, what are the things are going, because when you go to doctor, then of course you, because the people, you just write down on a piece of paper that this is my problem, this is my problem number one, two, three, so that they should be with the doctor when they go to see their qualified GP or doctor, and they have the paper, and they take it all from their pockets and start looking, using use glasses. Yes, doctor number one, doctor number two, number three, and then doctor listen if the genuine mystic doctors is there, and then with their empathic mind, mind full of empathy is empathy minded people, and mind without empathy is empty mind. So you have to write it down on a piece of paper, that your priority, what is the problems, and your aggression, stress management, sleep problems, drug addictions, you can name it. Write it down on the paper, and heading is the problem under the influence of faulty brain circuits, and the solution under the influence of healthy and changed. You have to change the whole circuit. Then you can seize your negative brain circuits, and you can activate, although it's there, positive and negative thoughts inside of our mind. Because as I have mentioned, our mind is like a garden, and thoughts are like seeds. We can grow flowers or we can grow weeds. So growing flowers with the weeds, with the seeds of hopeness, purpose, and positivity. And you need to give your benefit of doubt and action. You have to accept challenges, think intelligently. Organize your life, and now, right now. Tomorrow and yesterday will never come. And now we are going to discuss dopamine hormones, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. Dopamine is a great feeling that reward. It's reward giving hormones. When we are hungry, the dopamine level goes down, and then we start eating food. Then satisfied, dopamine level goes up. It's rewarding hormones. And oxytocin is love, also love chemicals. When we have some trust with someone, trust and touch, then oxytocin is released in nature. And serotonin is the player and social dominance. It is not aggressive, it is neuro inhibitors, transmitter, neurotransmitter. So it inhibit you, it gives you contentment, satisfactions, and the serotonin is positive chemicals inside of, because when someone is depressed or antipsychotic drugs, they give serotonin medicines, God forbidden if someone have problem, so they have to take. But if the priority is to healthy lifestyle changes, you can lead a good and happy life. And endorphin is endogenous morphine inside this morphine when you are some God forbidden injury or something. But unfortunately, then endorphin is released, and for the time 15-20 minutes, you don't feel pain. Severity of pain due to endorphin is released in our brain. So, but unfortunately, people with self harming, they are self harmer, and they just, in order to get endorphin released, and that is again mental health issues. And when dopamine droop, when it's going to down, once you get the reward until you cite another, because one reward like player is was finished when you earn money and dopamine is released, then it goes droop, and then you need more in a positive way. Of course, it's addiction of natural things, natural stimuli are there, and then we can um, find out the solutions of that problem. So because I have written step by step the points, because sometime during my lectures, oxytocin droop when it's going to down when you are separated. It's droop is when you are separated from, because like sheep, they are separated from herd, it's very hard for them, so they start feeling threatened and cortisol is released. So when, because we are social animal all the time when we are in touch, that's why unfortunately we are going to destroy our life, because the most important significant factor for depression is isolations. We are isolated and we don't know that that is directly stimulation of cortisol inside of our body. So that is going to trigger more blood pressure, sugar, I can name it. Serotonin is reabsorbed, which motivate people to seek another social advantage to stimulate more. So endorphin, endogenous morphine, it droop 20 minutes after, as I mentioned, injury, because it is pain and vital survival info. Dopamine frustration is stop once a need is met, so you learn to keep more. Oxytocin frustration is when you are separated from your family, from your friends, then it is frustration started. Endorphin frustrations inflicted pain on yourself to enjoy endorphin secretion as again self-harming is directly linked to that problem. So, dose of happiness, as I have mentioned, serotonin suggestion. First, dopamine suggestion, how to boost it up, like healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, healthy walk in the park daily, because you have to change your brain circuit. If you have faulty and you are aggressive and you need seek some assistant, then you have to change the narrative and you have to lead a good healthy lifestyle. Always have to short term goals. You need to set up short term goals so that when you achieve sense of achievement, dopamine is released, and then long term and your medium term goals. In this way you can increase your dopamine. Oxytocin suggestion build trust in many small steps, but unfortunately, trusting everyone all the time is not a good survival strategy. You have to have some knowledge about the persons, what they are doing. Don't blindly trust people. And serotonin suggestion about enjoy the strength you have instead of making comparison with others' strength. And if your priority is happiness, player, then you have to change the narrative and don't make comparison yourself with your others. What's your strength? Accept yourself, love and respect yourself with your strength and weaknesses. Don't make a comparison with other strengths. So in this way you can boost up your endorphin. serotonin, and endorphin suggestions find what make you natural laugh. Endorphin is, sleep, also sleep chemicals. When we are going to sleep, then it's really you're drowsy. It means your endorphin is released. And when you laugh naturally, don't or only laugh for the sake of others when people are laughing. No, natural laugh with good sense of humor. You can make a change. So natural operating system of brain is God or nature. If you're a believer, then God. If you're non-believer and atheist, then your nature. So God nature turns your from one feelings to another and teaches you to by means of opposites, both pain and pleasures and happiness. And in this way, it's like, according to Rumi, you have two wings to fly. Instead of crawling, you have two wings to fly and high. So try to be flow. Don't go with flow, because a stream of chemicals under the influence of both negative stress circuit and positive healthy circuits of brain. Thank you very much for today. And if you have any query, if you have any, like and subscribe or share my lecture about mm, pleasure and happiness. So if you have any queries, go to descriptions and my number is there, my email is there, and then uh, you can, if you are less well off, you can't afford, it's fully confidential, and it's talking therapies, and all of these things are. Take well care of yourself, your family, friends, and people around you if possible. Take care and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye bye.